We're just having too much fun in the background. That's what it was. Too much fun talking. Hello, hello, and welcome to the House of Sewing. I hope everyone's doing well and welcome. It is a beautiful Saturday. I'm not going to do my normal opening. I hope everyone is doing well. It is great to see everybody from Donnell's channel. People in the House of Sewing, we're a bit bohemian.
Hey,
They
little
show.
sis. Hey, big brother. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Katie.
Yay, hello. So blessed by Jess. Hello, hello. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Yay. If anyone's noticed, we are gonna I should have said howdy. Yikes, I forgot to say howdy when the show opened.
Hi,
I have too much of a West Coast accent. Partner? See, now that's just
partner.
yay,
You gotta
hello.
get that little southern accent to it.
I think I talk too fast to have a southern draw. Yay, hello, a New York beauty. Hello, Katie
Hey, Dawn.
Krabs. Yay. Great to see you, Pam. Hello, hello. So, special guest, would you like to introduce yourself?
I am Donnell with Donnell Stitchery, where I do sewing of all forms. You never know what I'm going to get up to because half the time I don't know what I'm going to get up to. And it's always a blast over at my place because it's just fun. And I got a bunch of cuckoos with me all the time. And I love it because they help me be cuckoo.
Absolutely. Howdy, howdy. Yay. So, how long have you been sewing? Or how long have you been into sewing?
My mom actually taught me when I was little, and she actually helped me make my very first ever quilt. It's just a very scrappy, patchy quilt and everything, and all like 4 patches, but very scrappy. No rhyme or reason to it. And instead of quilting it on a machine, we actually used like a thick thread, almost like an embroidery floss, and tied knots in every intersection.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then we would go to flea markets and sell stuff that we would make.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
so and my first one I think was like a twin or a throat, a twin size, and it sold for like $50, which I thought was like super amazing because I was like a preteen.
That's amazing. I put a
Yeah,
workbench at the Goodwill that my father made, and we both would walk past it because they put it for $100, and we were like, "No one's gonna buy this thing," and someone actually purchased the workbench. We were so proud of that someone paid that much money for it.
yeah, yeah, and that's after that and everything and all. It's like about my teenage years, we started moving around a lot, so I never picked up sewing again until like 2018.
Okay, okay. Would you say that COVID helped your sewing? The
Um,
whole.
so my huge influence was actually my grandmother.
Mhm.
Whenever I got back into it because she loved sewing and making quilts and just anything crafty. And when she passed away in 2018,
Oops.
I all of a sudden, just out of the blue, got inspired to make a quilt for my mom, a memory quilt for my mom out of fabrics that was like color coded based upon mine and my brother's birthstone colors, as well as incorporating fabrics that would represent my grandmother.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and that was like the first quilt since my adult life and everything, all that I had ever made again. It was looking back at it now, I done so many things wrong, and it was such a disaster, and it's actually fallen apart at this point. But my mom refuses to give it to me to fix it because she just wants it left alone. Hey, Lisa.
Hello, hello. Great to see you. Great to see you. My grandmother was a huge influence in my life. And when she passed away, I literally have the entire contents of her house, and I discovered how much she really loved sewing. So I
Yeah,
completely understand that.
when my grandmother passed away, my her husband had gave me her sewing machine as well as the wooden cabinet that came in. It's like a 1984 Singer sewing machine.
Awesome.
I have
Awesome.
not used it because I'm scared if I use it, it's gonna break. Hey, Alibaba.
Yay. How's it going, Alibaba? Is there anything wrong with it? Let's talk about this sewing machine. You're in the right place.
Honestly, I have no idea. It's still sitting in the cabinet downstairs, untouched.
It's definitely one of those things you have to pop the
I have
top
went to
and
the cabinet and go out to see what all she had in there. She's got so many clothing patterns in there. Oh my gosh, I could probably open up a pattern store with all the clothing patterns she has in there.
I
I'm like,
love
oh,
that.
I want to get in there and dive into it and everything, but I just haven't. It's like for whatever reason I haven't. I feel maybe because I feel like I'm intruding her space or something. I'm not for sure, but I figure when I'm ready, I will.
Oh wow. It's funny you'd say that. I have a really ratty pillow that I sleep with that my grandma, she would just add a layer to it and just flop it over and keep sewing it. And it's tired. I refuse to throw it away. I feel like she passed that junky pillow on to me for me to continue stuffing it and just rolling material on it. So
Just
I
roll it on
totally,
a sew up each end, call it good.
whenever somebody's in my room or something and they haven't been in there and I'm doing my laundry or something and they see that pillow, they're like, why is this sad pillow here? This is the saddest pillow. I'm gonna grab one of those things. She made a bunch of. They still sell them in the store. There's those. They're made for, I guess, giant couches. It's like just a giant pillow with arms. But she made like 30 or 40 of those things.
Oh my gosh, Lisa, you're so silly. Says Mike, if I keep buying, I will win one day. She's
So
so
yeah, it
crazy.
was on raffle.
Uh-huh. I seen them on. I'm like, nope, you're not pulling me in. I went to a quilt store today and I was a good girl. I did not spend not a penny.
One of the reasons I'm not talking about my Soya trip is because sometimes, like, and I do not drink alcohol, but I feel like I blacked out. And I spent way too much money. It's because you shouldn't travel with multiple cards. Like you should pick a card and be like, I'm gonna leave this one here. So I'll do my shameful so yeah fabric haul one day. I feel like incorporating it just into everything. I spent a lot of money. And they will never forget me.
Like, oh, and this.
I got so lost. As someone who loves to travel, even with yay, hello, Melissa, hello, great to see you, great to
Hey,
see you.
Melissa.
I was so lost, and I have a great sense of direction because I'm like you guys can see where I'm pointing, but west is always that way. I think it's because I grew up near the ocean, so I always center myself. Yay, hello, great to see everybody. But I got so lost going to so yeah.
I was gonna say, uh-oh, your camera's freezing up some.
Am I freezing up?
Yeah, there you are. Okay. Say for a moment there you were freezing. I'm like, oh.
I have spectrum like a lot of people do, so my signal is spotty sometimes.
I was just like, uh-oh. Must have been the 8 o'clock put it into shock.
Plus, I have a million devices running around in this room too. So,
If
I
my
I
first thought
always
was, oh no, I'm like, don't tell me it's mine. I'm like, the guys are in there playing computer games.
I always want to ask people this question. Do you have a style, or would you say that you have a style?
um,
I'm,
I
I'm
wouldn't say
I
much
can
so
still
much
hear you.
style.
Yeah.
I would not say so much of a style, but more of like I have like two different signature colors that usually wind up in at least something I do. But and that's either a pink or a purple. Somewhere or another, I always seem to wind up find a way of incorporating one of those two colors in almost everything I do. Like
I
with
think
this
we
one
all.
right here behind me has a pink O.
That's awesome. I love that.
And
I definitely have certain colors that I wear every day.
hey, Debs.
Yay. One of the reasons I say that is because I've done a lot of traveling, and certain places like New York, people get dressed up. Florida, I have never seen so many cargo shorts in my life. Like, it's that real stereotypes are there for a reason, you know. But where
Yeah,
I live, it's all over the place. Like, you will literally see someone wearing those weird Balenciaga shoes next to someone like me who got their shoes at the Goodwill. It's a weird mix of people.
for me, I mean, my biggest style as far as fashion goes is t-shirts and leggings or comfortable pants.
Yeah.
Most of the time, if it's leggings, it's like the capri leggings.
I'd like to ask that question because, people dress. Do you have a jacket that you wear all year round, or do you have a bunch of jackets?
I have like two lightweight jackets, and then I have a winter coat because I mean, I am in Michigan. So I gotta have a winter coat. And my winter coat is actually like a mossy oak camo coat that my
Oh,
husband
wow.
got me like 10 years ago for Christmas. And it did have a fuzzy hood until I found out that you're not supposed to put that fuzzy hood portion, the little outer ring here that was all nice and furry and fuzzy. You're not supposed to put that into the washing machine and dryer. Found that out the hard way, so I had to take that off, which made the hood smaller.
Yikes. Do you
Yeah,
keep
I'm
your
like,
coat?
great. Now the hood doesn't fit right because now the hood is like up here on the middle of my freaking top of the head. I'm like,
That's the word.
great.
Do you keep them forever, or do you get rid of them?
I keep it as long as I can wear it.
I found a coat in my mom's closet. It's this purple cape. It's this thing that she's worn. I think I found a picture in like 1986, 1985, where she's wearing it. She's like, it's not that old. And I come from an era where people took pictures of everything. I showed her the picture. I was like, the stamp is on the back. We can't even lie
See,
about this one.
yes, Alibaba, I would definitely have to sew an extended hood on that hat.
I
Maybe
could
I'll
help.
send it to William, have him hook me up with a good hood.
I was about to say, see, but where you live, they might like, they're like, we saw
He
Donnell
could use like a
yesterday.
hood and a scarf.
You'd be like the flying nun. You would literally be like the flying nun with those things.
Well,
I'm
I
not.
figure, okay, I could use it as a hood and wrap the tail around my neck as a scarf.
No idea how many coats I have. I'm a coataholic and I live in the desert. I'm not kidding you.
Okay,
When
I gotta
when it
get rid
gets,
of the hat. I'm getting overheated.
I know this hat makes me
Containing too
sweat.
much, containing too much heat.
Under the cowboy hat that I wear every day, I wear bandanas underneath it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, as a woman in my 40s and everything and experiencing menopause, the hat was massively overheating over here.
Totally understandable. Oh, that did not click. I have, I'm sitting in a room of nothing but distractions. If anyone ever wonders what's off screen, it's I have as many computers as I have sewing machines.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, but I do have quite a few computers, and I have.
Mike. Donnell has the vapors.
So what got you before we go off about quilting, one day I'm gonna pull down my sad attempt at quilting. I got really bored one day. My video is still up. I feel like I'd be shaming myself if I pulled it down right now. But it
Well,
was.
then I guess you're just gonna have to come on my channel, or I'm gonna have to come on your channel sometime or other, and I'm gonna have to teach you.
Well, I made a quilted jacket a while ago and it was a big hit. And I started on a pair of pants, but let me show you the results of it. Actually, these are just the scraps. The giant pile is actually behind me, but it's still a work in progress. I'm still working on it, I promise.
See, I actually made myself, well, attempted to make myself a pair of leggings, and it did not come out the greatest. It was actually just scrap fabric, like one of those like salvage fabrics or whatever that they sell extremely cheap at Joann's.
Okay.
So I went to go buy that and everything. I'm like, I want to try making some clothing. I'm going to see how this goes. So I used an old pair of my leggings as a template and went to go cut it up. Found out I did not have enough to make it an actual like capri leggings like I like wearing. So it wound up being long shorts where it comes down to like just above my kneecaps. But I'm like, okay, so this is pajama shorts because I can't wear them outside because it's white and can't take the chance of anything being seen through it.
I do not wear white at all in any way, shape, or form. Even yesterday, I was kind of, I was doing sad scrolling on Amazon. I came this close to purchasing a white denim vest, and I was like, when's the last time? I have one white denim shirt that I pull out like once every 7 months,
Let's see here. I've actually made my boys quilted jackets, and my youngest one's quilted jacket. He said that people actually said, even
Oh,
though
I'm
you
laughing at
just have white hood
Alibaba.
on.
Well, I don't wear white clothing though. And also I have like a dusty cowboy job, like a real job where I'm outside, Matter of fact, I would be laughed off the ranch if I showed up wearing white to work. You wear it.
Let's see, here is the quilted jacket that I actually made
Oh,
for my youngest son.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that was just quilt and cotton. I actually try and use like I take probably like a sweatshirt or a hooded sweatshirt, and I get one that's like 2 sizes bigger than what the person wears.
Mm.
I cut it at all the seams, and then I use that as a lining and as a template to cut out all the other fabric and quilt it and everything. And for their jackets, I did batting in between the layers and just did straight line stitching about 2 inches apart from each other to quilt it in.
That's absolutely amazing.
And then use my
Absolutely.
serger to add it back, to put it all back together.
I would wear something like that. Uh-oh. You said a word. So here in the House of Sewing, Sergers
What
and
did I
I
say?
we do not get along. I have destroyed 5 different Sergers. It's me. And let me tell you, in life, if
Well,
there's a
I mean,
common
yeah, if you
denominator in a
destroyed
relation,
5 different ones, dude, if you destroy 5 different ones and you're the common denominator,
it's me. Because at first there was one machine I could not figure it out. I purchased a brand new, just one from Walmart, like a brother, and I worked that thing like it was industrial. That one worked for a very long time. I purchased another one. It worked a little bit, but I had the same exact problem with every single serger. It's me. It's me. Because I look at certain projects and I'm like, oh, that's when I had a working serger. That's when I had a working serger. I don't know what
try
it is.
safely, Melissa. Don't touch that buttons.
Thank you so much for stopping by. And honestly,
Well,
everybody from Donnell,
she'll still listen to her whole way home.
thank you everybody who's here from Donnell's channel. You are absolutely welcome here in the House of Sewing. To say all those cliche YouTuber things, please do not forget to like, subscribe, or downvote. It all goes to the same place.
If you don't
But
like it,
seriously,
do
thank
the
you.
downward thumb.
I usually come with a disclaimer, but today's not a disclaimer kind of day.
Yeah, we got Michelle in here as well as Alibaba. They'll knit it.
Honestly, just be nice to each other. Everyone's welcome here. Those are my rules. Like, I'm not a political channel. That's why I stick to sewing, because it's something that it's a passion of mine. It's something I love to do. And I would rather talk about sewing than argue with strangers on the internet.
Right? I mean, it's hard enough to try and get past the whole starch or no starch, dark side or open seams.
A while ago, I purchased this book. and it has
Ooh, wrong
inspired
one.
me. This is
Oh, I love that dress in right dead center.
it's huge. Let's see if
That
it's
is
still marked.
beautiful. I love the cover of it to begin with.
Oh, it's not. Oh, there it is. I made a coat that was inspired by this quilt.
Ooh.
But it went this way because I couldn't I wasn't paying attention when I was making my pattern. But
Oh, goodness
this
gracious.
this inspired a coat. I love this book.
So I actually already, it can be. See, big books like that, my boys would be scared of because when they were little, I actually put them into the corner and they're like, oh, we could stand here all day long. I'm like, oh, really? Well, let's exercise a little bit more than just your legs. Then I'm like, put your back up against the wall and put your arms out, straight out in front of you. So they did. And my husband had like those big old thick encyclopedia size IT books that he had to study for doing the tech learning and all
Oh
to do
yeah. Oh
IT
yeah.
support. So I would try and take one of those, stick it on top of their arms, and I'm like, you got to stand there and hold this for X amount of time. And if you drop it, then your time starts over and you get another book added.
Hey Mona. Hello, hello,
Mama.
hello. Do you know what's really funny? This is right around the time that I'm usually waking up from my afternoon nap.
And I've been caffeinating all evening for this.
Same.
Hey, Ghost.
Yay! Hello, hello. Great to see you, Mona. Great to see you. I'm constantly looking for sewing books. I'm looking for motivation. That's why I asked you about fashion. I always look at see what people are wearing. I'm about making things that are practical.
Okay, so this is something my sister-in-law actually made for me. And this is what my sense of humor is, kind of, sort of. I'm
That's
like, I
cool.
like the old-fashioned cartoons that can be used as something fun and silly and goofy.
Hey, Doze snuck in there. How's it going? Great to see you. Great to see you. Now I have that song stuck in my head. Yay! Hello, hello. I'm trying to keep up with the chat. I'm trying to.
You're doing good right now. It just looks like everybody's saying hi to everybody.
Awesome. Awesome. I watch a lot of fashion shows. I was talking about this on your channel as well, but no one's gonna wear a lot of that Rick Owens stuff or Balenciaga. Seriously, I got these for like $20 at that thrift store that's on the California Nevada border. And if these were brand name, they'd be like $1,200, $3,000. They want outrageous prices for denim.
I'd be like, see, my thing is, I'm like, ooh, $20? Tie. I'm like, I'm cheaper than that. I'm like, I could make that for $20.
Exactly. I think I remember back when everything, I think I'm from the last generation when everything was affordable. And so I bargain. Yay. That's another question I have for you. Would you bargain? Okay, so if you were in a situation where you could haggle for fabric, would you? Or if somebody was like, this is $7 a yard, would you pay that price?
Depending upon how much I fell in love with the fabric. If it was a batik, definitely, because batiks can go up to like $14 or $16 a yard. If
Exactly.
it's just normal quilt and cotton, then it's got to be something I have just completely fallen in love with to die for. And I don't want to wait to see if it goes on sale before it runs out. But if
I'm
it's just like I could take it or love it, no, I would wait until like when I go shopping at Joann's, which is my main place I go shopping at for my fabric. As far as a local place goes, I I buy usually whatever's the on sale price that I could find, which is usually about $4 to $5 a yard.
See,
Because
that's
I
my
look for
thing
like the
too.
clearance haul.
going to downtown Los Angeles spoiled me. Oh, first, really quickly, Balenciaga is extremely weird, Katie Krabs. I agree with you. Absolutely. And I live to haggle. I speak a couple different languages. I will shock people. I'll Someone's like, I don't speak English. Well, what language do you speak? We can fight in that one too.
See, if I want to have someone that is going to haggle for and everything, I take my husband because he's great at doing it. Like I've seen him trying to, I I seen him rip off a car dealership before
My
on a vehicle. It was a vehicle that we actually had to have towed out of there. It was my old Jeep Grand Cherokee, but it was well worth the price that they had the sticker on it for. And he got him down 1,500 below the price that they was already asking
There's
for.
nothing wrong with that.
No, I'm like,
I knew someone that was willing to cry, and I thought they were joking until they really did in a dealership. And because I work for a nonprofit, and if you walk in with your hat in your hand, you could really. And this person cried, got thousands and thousands of dollars taken off, and was like, literally stopped. Was like, "Can I get the keys now?" Once they said the price.
hey, Kilroy.
Yay! Yeah, hello, hello. You know, Mona, I've slept through. There's been so many streams that I've set my alarm for and just like slept right through it. Cherry is expensive, but it's
Like you
amazing.
almost
Well,
slept through mine this morning.
it's because, and I'm gonna tell you, like, see, it goes back to haggling. I didn't feel like fighting this morning. I didn't feel like haggling, so I didn't go to the swap meet.
I'm like, you must have already been up and out the door before I went live.
I woke up. Well, I woke up right when you started, but I didn't want to say hello because I knew I was gonna roll over and go back to sleep because I didn't want to be rude. I didn't want people to think like, "Oh, he didn't say hello to me. What's wrong with him?"
Kilroy's comment. Kilroy, you crack me up. I swear to goodness gracious.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Great to see you, Kilroy. Balenciaga is a culmination of someone drinking too much, riding down the strip, and trying to recall your evening the next day. It was just weird to me how much money people were. Haley woke up, or I could have just slept until morning. It's shocking to me how much money people will pay for designer clothes. But also, I live in the land of knockoffs. Yay! Hello, hello, Joy. Great to see you. Great to see you. So I'm almost offended by certain prices because I know I can go get the fake version that is probably made just as well as the original.
Right? Hey, Joyful.
Yay! Great to see you, Joy. Great to see you.
Yeah, my favorite thing to do is take a look at it, see how it's constructed, and then go on and make a mental note and then go home and see if I can't recreate it.
Yeah, I
Just to see if I could do it.
that's what I did. I know I say things like I'm 10, 15 years older than what I am, but I was watching the Dick Cavett show and Lucille Ball walked out. I watch all if there's an appearance with like Lucy smoking cigarettes, I loved 1970s, 1980s Lucy because she was real.
Yes.
And she walked out with this giant coat. I recreated it. I called it Lucy's coat. I made it, I changed the color because it was 1970s green. All those knockoffs, you can't find overalls. Do you know where I live? They really do not sell Carhartt. You know what's funny? Whenever I go anywhere outside of the state of California, they sell clothes like everywhere else. But where I live, they really do not sell clothes like that here because I live in the desert. I live in the high desert. I don't shop clothes by designer, only fabric. Downtown London, England is slowed out. People moved out of the pricey areas 3 to 6 months ago. Same thing's happening in downtown Los Angeles as well. I love Old Redhead. Absolutely. When I run out of things to watch, I still watch I Love Lucy. I watch all the spin-offs, all of it. Are there any weird rabbit holes that you fall into on YouTube?
Ah. Okay, so my latest addiction of watching whenever I want just something that does not require any mental status whatsoever. I love watching Steve Harvey on Family Feud.
Oh, that's
I love Steve Harvey. I can't help it.
we have a great water source where I live. What can I say? It
I
is.
love that fountain in your front yard.
It's in my backyard.
Oh, it's your backyard. My bad.
No, because if it was in my front yard, my nosy neighbors would be like, "What are you doing?" The neighbor's kid would be sitting in the fountain. Like, I would have no privacy if that was in my front yard whatsoever. I want to live somewhere where I have a fountain in the front yard. I wouldn't mind that. I heard Carhartt is getting popular and the price is going up so much for farmer chic, where it's because of people like where I live who are willing to pay outrageous prices.
Yeah.
That's why when I go out of state, I cannot say it enough. It's weird to me. A shirt in California at a Goodwill is $5 and up. Like it'll start at $5.99. In Nevada, it's like $1.99 and up.
Yeah, like another thing I love watching on YouTube that is not sewing or quilting related is court cases. I don't know why, but like Judge Judy and a few others, it's so entertaining to me.
Do you think it's because I like my parents were a big influence in my life, and because I was the youngest and they were basically like near retirement age, we hung out a lot. Do you think it's because as humans we like catching people lying?
Yeah, it's like especially like when Judge Judy gets after them, it's like get him, Judy, get him, Judy.
So earlier I was gonna say I don't even know how many years ago. This had to have been in the 90s, and I'm not kidding you. And everybody always laughs when I tell this story, but I was eating dinner with my parents, and I grew up in a house where we had a television wherever we ate food. And long story short, Judge Judy told somebody this kid got caught with magazines or something, and Judge Judy was like, "Why don't you read Scientific American? Do something with your life." I'm not kidding you. I've been reading, let me cover because it has my real address. I've been reading Scientific American for 20 something years because of like a good, like, oh no, like 29 years.
Oh, better be careful. You're getting close to telling your age.
I think a lot of it, again, is because I grew up around senior citizens and I did not know my mother's age until I looked at my birth certificate one day because she never told me. She never told me. Oh, Karen Reed. Oh,
Maybe
sorry.
because then she'd have to admit to herself of how old she was.
That's me and Cops. I don't know why Cops is so entertaining. You know, I went in this weird show hole. I watched Designing Women. I started watching Three's Company again. I have Sanford and Son going on in on a VCR over here right now. I love those old school shows. I love Real Murder Mystery. Man, my mom, I walk in her house and she's eating dinner and watching like they're saying the most horrific thing about some trial and she's just like, "How's it going?" And I'm like, "How can you eat and watch this? Like, how is this possible?" And
Yeah, like
more.
lately, my husband's actually been getting into like having playing on YouTube in the front room and everything on the big screen TV. He'll have like these shows of like just different areas of like court cases going on. And I'll come upstairs for my lunch hour and everything. I'm like, ooh, what's this one in trouble for?
I love that. There was this crazy guy. I can't remember his name. He was in Minneapolis, I believe. He went through a crowd of people in his car. Was his name something Brooks? I watched that trial because it got popular and everybody was talking about it. And you'd watch it and you're like, dude, this guy's sober and he's going nuts. Like, that's crazy. I read popular science for so long, but the quality of writing dropped, so I quit. So I quit getting it. Scientific American, I have to look things up. I'm like, hold on. I have to look this word up. What does that mean? What does that mean? Do you know awkward quilter Georgia? Because of Kilroy, I started watching Chico and the Man. Bad boys, bad boys. I was married to a couple. No joke. I live in like the super quiet suburbs. I have a security camera. Every once in a while, I'll look up and I'll see the cops in front of someone's house, and I'm like, "Oop, they're having a bad day. They're having a bad day."
See, I see red and blue lights outside. I'll try and go out and stand on my front porch. I'm like, ooh, what's going on? Are they taking on to jail?
Same. I'm the polite neighbor though, because I have fences on both sides. I go to my fence and peek over like Wilson in Home Improvement.
See,
Do you know what's
I don't try to camouflage or anything. I'm like right there out in front, center, like a nosy neighbor person going on. I'm like, I want to know the dish. Give me the scoop.
the cops like in California, the cops have the right to tell you to go on your property. They can't tell you
Well, see,
to
I
go
don't
in your
leave my
house.
property, so they can't see nothing of me. I'm on my own property. I'm just getting as close as possible and keeping everybody else quiet so I can hear them.
And Katie Krabs, I almost like my pops was 42 when I was born. So almost the same. Almost the same. Me and my kids used to eat dinner and watch the show Operation. They could actually I remember that. I don't know why.
Yes,
I remember that when they used to show
I
full
loved those shows.
it was
I think,
actually really informative.
yeah,
Do you think they don't want us to know what a knee scope looks like anymore?
I can
I
tell you
was
one thing. Don't ever get ready to have LASIK eye surgery and then watch the procedure on YouTube.
you know, when you said that, it made me blink because I've watched the procedure.
I was like, I was so close. I went for the evaluation and everything for it, and then I watched the procedure on YouTube. I'm like, nope, cancel that appointment.
So my
I'm
mom,
like, the odds are not that bad.
I love my mom. I absolutely love my mom. She got something happened to her eye. This woman has she defeated breast. She didn't defeat breast cancer. She survived breast cancer. She's a warrior. She would get a shot in her eye, and there was one time where she allowed me in the room, and I was like, huh, huh, too much. And I drove her the second time. She's like, "You're waiting in the waiting room. You're too jumpy." But I couldn't sit in the same room and watch someone put a needle. You know, it was like a bad movie.
I can watch someone rip open someone's chest and all the blood and guts and gore of scary movies, but I cannot watch them do that for LASIK eye procedure on YouTube.
A New York Beauty. I do not watch Hoarders because I think I'm gonna be on it one day with my son yelling at me.
I watch them. I'm like, we're not getting that far away.
that, that is they used to show full operations back in the day in the 90s on television, back when the Discovery Channel was actually the Discovery Channel.
Yeah, where you could actually learn stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Standards have changed. I listen to a lot of like old timey radio, and it's so funny the things that they couldn't mention then, the standards in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and even now. It's so funny. I don't watch Hoarders. Absolutely. Absolutely. People in my time are nosy. They just walk to the house, stand outside. Do you know where I'm from? That's like people will talk about you. I have a really, really nosy neighbor that no one talks to because they know she's gonna tell your business to everybody.
Oh, well, Kilroy, that's amazing.
Wow.
My mom is actually a 2-time survivor. So, of course, my doctor has me get checked every 6 months to a year. Because I had that gene mutation that my mom has.
Oh, Melissa, I was in there one time with the whole eye thing. One time.
And I still to this day have thought about getting the LASIK, but the eye doctor's already told me I'll still have to wear reading glasses whenever I'm reading or sewing, which is pretty much all day long. So why bother?
Mona and I are very much alike. I'm so sorry. You would or would not get LASIK?
I would love to, but the eye doctor already told me I would still have to wear, even if I did, I would still have to wear reading glasses whenever I'm reading on the computer or sewing. I'm like, well, that's pretty much my entire waking hours.
Yeah.
I'm like, so what's the difference on if I get the surgery or not?
Are you know, if I even think I'm going to pass away, I'm going to give all my machines are going to a home. Well, or like someone like Fred Sanford. I will find people that want these machines. That's a lot of cans. You could build a few cars. If you melted down the machines I have, you could build or just one really big truck.
That's a whole lot of Campbell soups going on in there.
Is there a machine that you don't have that you want? You said you just got rid of an industrial.
I got rid of the industrial. I thought I would love it. I got it. I tried it out for a good 6 months. When I first got it, we sang beautifully together. And then one day, she decided she wasn't going to work properly, and I could never get her to figure out what the problem was. I know it's a tension issue, but it got to a point where it's like every time I try to use her, I got so frustrated and so sick of it that it was actually making me fall out of love with sewing and not want to do it. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, she's got to go. I'm like, because my computerized machines work beautifully, and I don't want to get frustrated before I even get in here.
I want to be so rich that I can travel around the country and fix sewing machines, because I bet I could fix that sewing.
Well, see, I don't even think it was even like a fix the sewing machine. It was, I don't have someone right here that could teach me how to use her. So I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to see if I can't recoup some of my money and get her to someone that can use her.
Oh, that's true.
My husband's like, well, why don't you try watching YouTube videos? I did. There's not really any YouTube videos for the unbranded Chinese version of a Juki 8700.
You never know. Like with my blind stitcher, that's why I asked you, do you need 700 pockets? Because once I didn't even know what it was. It said stitcher. I'm like, oh, it sews. Then I figured out what it was, and I turned it on and it went. It's crazy. So I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm like, it's taking up space. I could use that for that area for a shelving unit for storing fabric and all. Make it a little bit nicer in here and a little bit more floor space. I'm like, or eventually put something else over there.
I'm not kidding you. I'm going to make a museum in my lifetime of all this stuff, because I say this all the time. I don't just have sewing machines in here. I have every inception of a camera from the Kodak A on. I have like the 9mm stuff, from like every era. So I am very much a museum worthy in this house. This house is very museum worthy. And I'll be the last exhibit. Just Sois Americanus Interruptus. Just
yeah, right now, as far as like any machines I may want, I can't really think of anything offhand other than like maybe an inkjet printer that you can be able to print designs on. Because I have a serger, I have a computerized Juki that I sew on regularly.
Oh wow!
And I have a small embroidery machine.
I have my sad brother PE5. What is it? 535. It's literally sitting behind this boombox because the stereo gets more use than the embroidery machine.
See, I use mine for doing like quilt labels.
My biggest problem is I use things like they're industrial. I made hundreds of patches on that machine.
Hence why you destroyed 5 sergers.
Hundreds and hundreds. I use things like or I'm like, can this take denim? And the machine's like, no. It's like it's like fighting as I'm feeding the machine. I've learned the hard way. Even I found a really beautiful pair of Janko jeans that I made because I'm still cleaning out my closet. And I looked at the bottom. I'm like, oh, this is when I had a serger, because the bottom is completely even. I'm like, oh, this is when I had a serger. It's me though. I have still to this day. Let's talk about it. Let's get on the couch here in the house
Yes,
of sewing.
let's have a
I
count session.
I don't know why. What am I doing? To everyone who knows me, Joy. Joy's
Like,
been here for a while.
like,
Why do
hang
I
on.
destroy
I need my
surgery?
ink and a notebook. Okay, let's go.
Why do I
I'm ready.
destroy sergers? I see you talking about starting a museum, but I don't see you signing any leases for real, though.
That's because you have not given him the contract yet, Gilroy.
Do you know what's really funny, Mona? Sometimes I feel like I should tie a rope to my foot and tie it to the front door. I destroy sergers. Do you think it's the furry material?
Probably because anything that produces a lot of lint, if you're using it like an industrial and not cleaning it after every large project or a highly linted thing, then that can destroy it. Or
Thank
not
you
oiling it
so much.
enough, or
Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a great night. Hopefully, you get your
bye,
prize.
Lisa. Mwah. Bye, big sis.
I do. Alibaba is so right. It gets good to me though. I start surging. I made so many hoodies. I had to slow myself down. I fell in love with sergers, but I will like I work it like it's a mule.
And the worst part is these are types of machines that should live forever.
I destroyed. I even replaced the blade in my brother and destroyed it because the blade worked for a while and then something happened, or it'll always throw it where it's
You,
only surging on three.
you
Every
happen.
every single one I've ever had, it's the same thing where it only surges on three.
Then only stitch on 3.
But then eventually it
William Lent.
Yay, I hope you win. I hope you win. I should have entered a contest. I walked in there and oh the
I don't
way
even go.
you know what it is? I constantly teach my son about money and I'm like, look, I saved money in this and this, and I never use my credit card. I was way too much with my emotions and I was way too much in my feelings, and I was like, swipe, swipe, I'll worry about this later. Swipe. I'd rather use the industrial serger than the domestic. I bought a serger and haven't attempted to use it yet. Too many other projects going on. Machines today will will never last forever. They are made by crap plastic. Exactly.
Except for my Juki. My Juki is amazing. I got her. Technically, my husband and oldest son got my Juki for me. Like, back towards the beginning of COVID, and she has been sent into the shop one time for a maintenance, and it's the Juki dealer, and they tell me that is one of the most immaculate machines that they have ever seen come in for maintenance and repair.
Wow.
They're like, they're like, how often do you say you sew? I'm like, daily. They're like, when's the last time that you got her serviced? I'm like, never, and I've had her for 2 years. So like, you take really good care of her. I'm like, that's because she's my baby.
I almost spent, I think it was like 1,400 for an industrial Juki serger in downtown. But then my knee started shaking and I was like, okay, I can't do this. I started getting nervous. My hands started shaking. There's this, it's Shangri-La for people who sew. It's in downtown LA. I can't remember the streets. It's been a while. It's been a while. I watched the news too much, so I haven't been there in a while. It's the largest sewing store I've ever seen in LA. And they are a licensed Juki dealer. And they have the real tables and everything. But the prices are real too. Is a serger, is it worth paying $3,000, $4,000 for a serger? For a Juki?
I don't know, because I bought a Singer off of Amazon for like $200 to $300. I think it was like $300 I spent. And of course, I did it through a firm because my previous serger my husband got me years ago had died. And I'm like, I had issues. I'm like, I'm not taking it in. I'm like, I just want a new one. So I got myself a new one instead. Eventually, I am going to send it in because I do still have the old one. And it was one that he got me from like a thrift shop. Came with a really old floral zip-up bag and everything.
Oh wow. I
Yeah.
have a weird collection of Singer bags and all kinds of I love my Juki Serger, puts brother to shame. My brother, oh man, I wish I could give my brother a Viking funeral, but it's illegal to do stuff. Oh, that's awesome. Hold on, let me ooh.
Yep. And I got the old Serger in here and all. I looked up videos and I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with it. I think it just needs to be taken in for servicing because I mean, he got it from a thrift store. So who knows the last time it's even been serviced. Like a
Yeah.
good deep cleaning and everything on. Like it just needs to go in for a really big, huge spa day.
There have been quite a few, even my Singer heavy duty. I got it for like 30 something bucks. It wasn't turning over. I popped the case open and there was thread just wrapped around it. I cut it and I had a brand new machine. A lot of people give up on machines because they do not know they need basic maintenance.
And I know my Juki won't last forever. But when she dies, I'll just buy a new Juki.
You know, people said
Because I
that to
am
me
so hooked on a Juki from my sewing machine.
when I first purchased my brother. I was so excited, and everybody was like, "That's gonna break on you in 3 months." For the record, it lasted like 7. Or something crazy, and everybody who told me it was gonna break was 100% right. It just lasted a lot longer than I thought it was going to. I'd love to find that
Yeah, like
old.
my sewing machine will probably always be a Juki. My serger will always be a Singer, and my embroidery machine will always be a brother. That way, there I'm spreading the love.
I've learned to depend on certain machines, but where I live, Singer has a real racket in Los Angeles. I have yet to find a FOF in the state of California, or there are just certain machines that they do not sell anywhere near here. I grew up obsessed with. Do you know who Nancy Zeman is? She used to be on
No.
PBS. She had a show. She was on PBS. She's on YouTube. She had a YouTube channel before she passed away. She was just obsessed with sewing, but she was sponsored by FOF in the 80s, and I could
Okay.
never find one.
Yeah, until I started learning how, like relearning how to quilt back in 2018, I hadn't watched any YouTube videos for sewing. Before that, it was always just like funny little shorts that would pop up on my feed or something.
Nancy Zeman is a weird inspiration of mine because I was always watching television as a kid, and because I loved PBS, I was always watching her shows. 1980s Baby Lock Serger is wonderful. I need to get back on the Serger train. I miss my Serger. I I was like the Serger ninja. I was no joke with Serger. I made so many projects. I miss my Serger. I love
You just need to
Nancy.
do before you get on the surgery. You just need to do thorough research on what she can and cannot handle.
True. No, you're so right. That's the number one problem. I destroy Sergers. I absolutely destroy them.
You're like, here, hold my beer.
Nancy Zeman taught me how to sew. I love Nancy Zeman. There's no racket. Los Angeles is just 70 years older, so all the other got beat by Singer by the time they built that place. I've seen footage from 1870 Los Angeles. It was a street with the mud. It was like literally a street. I love her and didn't even sew back then. We'll be here for a while, Joy. I loved Nancy Zeman. Her theme, like the 1980s theme, it was just boop, 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 boop. But I love that stupid theme song. I have an old FOF, bought it, and the Serger the same year.
Awesome.
I love my brothers. I have a ton of. I think one of the reasons I love brothers so much is because I remember all their other technology from the 80s. My old brother is still kicking. So, do you have a million machines like everyone here, or do you just have?
If you include my grandmother's machine, I have 4 machines.
That's still more than the average person.
And that's because I have and that's including my serger and my embroidery machine, which is also a sewing machine technically.
If I told you how many I had, like
Over 300. We discussed it on my
no,
list.
but 9 years ago, if I told you how many I had, you'd be like, I don't believe you. Because I've purchased that many in that time. I think I probably have a brother typewriter or something like that in this house. I guarantee you. I'm weird. I only have one. There's nothing wrong with that. I
See,
collect sewing machines. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
it's funny because every time I try and go to my husband, I'm like, I really would love to have a machine that would do this or have some way of doing this and everything. I think this could be beneficial. I'm like, but maybe one of these days. Next thing I know, for like a birthday or a Christmas or something, he'd be getting it for me. I need to ask for a warehouse.
For real. I had a dream. I had a dream that my son and I were walking through a warehouse and like I was signing papers or something. So my brain was telling me like, if you build it, they will come. And Katie, I miss my dad. He had a sewing case that had wheels on it. When I got all of his stuff, I put my whenever I travel, I literally out of all my bags, there's always a sewing machine in there. And it has wheels
Yep.
on it.
My very first ever sewing machine was a Singer that my husband got for me from Walmart. And I actually tried, when I decided I got tired of seeing it sitting around not being used and it no longer served my purpose. So I actually gifted it to one of my viewers.
Oh wow.
And just charged her the price for shipping.
You know what? I should do that. I have an account with UPS and FedEx and DHL.
I actually just went on to pirateship.com and did through there because you can get the shipping prices for USPS as well as UPS a lot cheaper.
Oh wow.
And you can actually schedule it to where they come by and pick it up right from your house.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely am going to look out for that. I love watching other people's collections because it makes me feel better about my.
Now I see why you always put it at the bottom of the screen because it's just so much easier to read at the bottom of the screen. But
It
you're trying to
is.
read it in the chat, and I'm like,
Especially because I'm not wearing my glasses. This is total front as usual. Do you know what's funny? If people see me in public, they probably wouldn't recognize me if I didn't have if I didn't have all my garb on. If I wore my glasses, it's my Clark Kent, right? I hide in public.
See, I would just have to look for someone wearing the big, humongous hood. Then I would know it was you.
I do wear my makes. Even I'm weird. Like I have to sleep encapsulated. Like so. A couple of the hoodies I've made, I sleep with them, so they travel with me. Or you're gonna laugh, but if it dips below 50, it's freezing to me, or below 60. If it's anything in the 50s, so I'm putting my hoodie on, and I'll put a light one on. If I put a full thick hoodie, I'm being dramatic.
Oh no, see, I'm not laughing about that because last week it was in the 70s and I was wearing fuzzy socks and a hoodie.
See, I'm weird about. I wear long
But it's
sleeve.
funny because I also had on shorts.
Yay! Welcome back, Joy. I during what I consider our winter, I wear long sleeves every day. Every day. People, there's this joke at my job where people are like, "Are you gothic? Are you gothic?" Because I have this. I know it's shocking, but I have a extensive collection of black T-shirts and long sleeves. An extensive collection. So,
What? Really?
I could show up. I'm gonna do that. One day I'm gonna challenge myself to wear a different outfit every single day. And I bet I could go months and months without, even with pants. I own quite a few pair of pants.
And you should do a short every day of it so that way that you got proof. It's documented.
I'm trying to think how many pair. I could even do it with shoes almost. Hypothermia at spring temps.
Hey, Joanna.
Yay! Hello, hello. It was a ton and a half. I have a Kenmore sewing machine. And one of my old videos when I was really bored, I weighed a Kenmore and it was 64 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
And it broke the scale. I don't think it was ready for it all the weight at the same time.
Yeah, I fed him dinner. It's probably because I'm not in there. You want to bring him to me?
And here I'm wearing shorts, tank tops, and flip flops in 50-degree weather to drive to school bus. I'm a warm weather human.
Well, Michelle, that's because you also have like what 30, 40 kids on there producing all this heat.
I would be wrapped up in a full jacket and everything. Oh, that's funny, Michelle. Most of those good housekeeping back.
So we got a little special guest tonight.
Aw, hello.
This is Loki. He is my 15-year-old Yorkie that has no teeth, so his tongue is always sticking out, and he cannot hear or see, pretty much.
Aww.
And he wears diapers because he has incontinence.
Hey, I'm going to be there one day. I won't be there one day.
Yeah, my son just came to the door. He goes, Mom, did you feed Loki and all? He goes, he is like in there freaking out. I'm like, it's probably because his mom is not in there where I'm normally at.
Oh, no worries. No worries.
Hey, Zaza.
We're just here having a good time. Yay. Yay. Hello, Joyce. Hello. Yay. Great to see you.
Hey, Joyce.
Yay.
Baby. Yeah, so he's got to be like right by me because otherwise he gets all freaked out and everything. So
I'm gonna that machine, it was right here, but I moved it. It's because I kicked it and I thought I broke my foot again. But it's the heaviest machine in this house.
Oh,
because
wow.
I got smart. I have an industrial scale at my job, and I got smart and started taking the sewing machines to my job instead of breaking scales. Absolutely. See, that's what I'm looking for when I'm thrifting. I am looking for a functioning sewing machine, and those older sewing machines are solid. That's what I fell in love with Japanese clones. Yay! Hello. So, how do you feel about people who resell things? Like we all heard the story about me griping about the sewing machine that got away. Are you pro or against? And I'm not anti. I'm a capitalist. I'm a real life capitalist. I'm all about making money. You have inspired me, Donnell. Watching your channel, you have absolutely. I'm gonna change that channel in a direct. I'm gonna go in a different direction. But what I'm saying is, are you pro or against resellers?
No, I'm all for resellers. I mean, it's like my idea is if someone else can use it and it no longer serves a purpose for you or you no longer want it in your space, then pass it along to someone else. And if you get a little bit of money out of it in the long run, why not? I'm like, it's keeping something alive and out of the landfill. It's better than going into the junkyard or back into a resale shop or where it's going to sit and collect dust. I'd much rather see something be put to use.
I agree with you. You know, I told you I sold a featherweight for $1,000, and I was in my car and I was like, did that just happen? You know, so I get it. I totally get it. I think it's when when the price is jacked up so much, because I'm a buyer, it destroys the market. Like I purchased a brand new, well, not a brand new, but I purchased a Singer 404 for like 25 bucks. On certain pages, they want 400 or 500 bucks for the same machine.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I'm like, I'm all about going where you can find the deals.
And where I'm from, I'm the market. Like in all
Yeah.
these
And I'm
thrift
like,
stores.
yeah, and I refuse to pay the high prices because I'm like, if I pay the high prices, the insane high prices, then that's just going to feed into the whole thing of like, okay, well, if people are willing to pay it, then why not charge it or even charge more?
That's my I think it's because I'm damningly honest. Sometimes I'm anti when people really jack the price up. I think that's what bothers me. But also, I'm a purchaser as well, so I see both sides.
Ooh, Joanna. I am supposed to pick up my mint condition 1901 Singer hand crank sewing machine and a beautiful wooden cabinet in early October. She's beautiful. Oh, girl, you guys send me pictures.
Absolutely, Katie. Absolutely. I still think I sold mine to somebody in the movie industry because they're the only people who pay these outrageous prices. Everyone else I know is kind of in the same boat as me because I'm part of this weird network of people in Los Angeles, but we're all weird sewing machine hoarder. I think I was really offended when I heard that young man say, like, he looked at me and he's like, the machines, it didn't have the table, it didn't have the proper bobbin case. There was all these kinds of things missing. 20 bucks, 20 bucks at the most. The kid was like, what's the machine worth? I said, what's the price? What does the price tag say? But
Yep.
when he
You're
looked at
like,
me,
I'm not telling you the truth of what's really worth.
and I really
And
was,
like, to you, because in your view, it's priceless.
and I still laugh at myself because he was like, oh, what should I do with this? And I was like, look it up on YouTube, kid. What are you talking? I was so offended. I
Like,
was.
you have a phone with internet and all the knowledge in the world at the tip of your fingers.
I
Freaking
Google
lazy
everything.
and research.
Especially like you can tell people in the thrift store, like the people that have their stuff together, because they'll grab a shirt and they're googling it. I'm like, oh, they're gonna resell that. They're gonna because me, I go by emotion. I'm like this Mickey Mouse shirt. I saw this in Vegas. I was like, oh, that's mine. It's my colors. I love it.
Like,
You
usually,
know,
if I'm in the store researching something, it's because I want to see if there's any like chronic issues that would take place with that item, so I know what I'm getting myself into, or how available are parts if I need them.
this is true too. I try not to do this, even though I am the guy that will buy the entire row at Walmart of fill in the blank. This bothers me too, though, is when people purchase everything to resell it. They do it with tickets
Yes.
too. Like I'm really into sports. You end up buying from scalpers or companies that came in and just bought all the tickets. I don't know. I've really been on the fence because I am a reseller, but I'm also a person who collects stuff. Like this entire week, I had to laugh at myself. I purchased so much stuff in Las Vegas. I've been washing fabric for a week. I've been washing clothes I've purchased for a week. I purchased so much stuff. I had to like literally put stuff in piles. Like, okay, I'm gonna wash this, I want to wash this. Yeah, I don't work on that machine. Are there any projects that you wish you had more time to do or something that you're working on that you have been for a
uh,
while?
yeah, I have two different foundation paper piece quilt patterns I got through Legit Kit. One of them is a very large lion. That instead of doing it with the Legit Kit fabrics that I could have got the kit for, I actually decided, okay, I'm getting just the paper pattern and I'm going to do it all from fabrics from my own stash without buying any fabrics for it and doing it in the Detroit Lions colors. So I changed up all the colors of the entire thing.
Awesome.
And I only got the first row done. And I've had it for about a year. Oh, probably about a year now. And
Oh,
I'm like,
You're making me feel better. Because I've been
This
working
is
on my.
something, it's like, it's like one of these days, I actually tried and got so flustered and everything, felt so overwhelmed. I'm like, and I put it down. I'm like, one of these days, I'm going to come back to it and I'm going to finish it. But for now, it's actually in a file system underneath on the bottom shelf of my workbench behind me. And I'll get back to it whenever I feel that I'm ready for it. It's like one of those type of things where it's like I jumped in without doing all my research and thinking and trying out a smaller project before I jumped into something that huge.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And really quickly, I just want to say, humbly, I would like to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I'm shaking my microphone. Thank you, thank you. I never thought I would be here. I'm going to make the captain of redemption real soon. I thank everybody who has recently subscribed and everybody who's still here after all these years. Because I've been here. I'm like a sowing oak tree. I've just been here.
Yeah, so I'm a pattern tester for Mama J Enterprises.
Oh, okay.
Her name is Andrea. She's actually the one that designed this quilt here. It's gonna be a wall hanging and of a gnome that says love. And I told her I want certain aspects to try out and everything. Like this in here, it's like tiny pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I want you to push me. Yeah, Katie, that's another one I still got to finish. The vortex. I was actually in the midst of the vortex and doing so good on it. And then I jumped on the board with the lion, and I hadn't touched the vortex yet. I should get back to the vortex. At least that one there is fabrics I paid for through them.
No worries, Mona. No worries. Do you know
Mona, girl, you know we love you, Chica.
I found I'm constantly typing in like people live right now on YouTube, and that's how I stumbled upon Mona's channel. I think the algorithm finally did something right for one time, for the first time ever. Because it's like, well, you like sewing.
Yeah, I don't even know how I found everybody's channels that I watch now. There's so many people I watch now, and because I started off watching Jenny Down over at Missouri Star.
Oh,
And
I think I'm still subscribed to them.
I watched when I was relearning how to do sewing and quilting, that's who I started off with. Them and Donna Jordan over at Jordan Fabrics.
I still watch Jordan Fabrics.
I
Does
do
she
too.
have that?
I love her patterns that she puts out every so often, especially her free ones. I love her free ones.
Doesn't she have that giant wall machine? The
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 long
giant.
arm,
Yes.
that's actually not a wall. That's just on a table.
It looks humongous.
Yeah, they are huge. They can be like, I think anywhere between like 8 to 10 feet wide table.
Good grief. That's big.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's huge.
I mean, they can quilt up to queen and king, depending upon the size of the table that they're on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're insane. I would love to have one, but I don't have the space for it.
Really quickly, Kilroy, in where I live, I bet you could find a gnome that says hate on. Gnomes are real
All you gotta
popular.
do is rearrange the small pieces.
Yay.
It's so funny because the guy said that he was out there being so stressed out and everything, but yet he's just nice and calm, happy go lucky because he's got mama.
Aww.
He's starting to go through dementia spells. And the vets, when I took him to the vet recently, they told me that as long as he is eating, drinking, are you okay?
Oh yeah, I have fire lung. Like the sky is tainted in Southern California. Every fire, I can't escape it. No matter which direction the wind's blowing, there's fire. I have all my fans on in here. It smells like smoke in here.
It's because the fans are blowing air from outside in.
Yeah, and it's inescapable.
But yeah, the vet told me that as long as he is eating, drink, he looked at me, he goes, so I was talking to him about I had concerns with him starting to go through showing signs of dementia and having the spells and everything. And he goes, Donnell, he is old.
Yeah.
They're like, he's like, as long as he is eating, drinking, showing good signs of mobility, and he's still having good bowel movements and bladder movements, then don't stress.
I had 2 dogs. Max lived to be 19, and Cleophas lived to be like almost 20. And that happens towards the ends of dogs' lives.
Yeah, and he'll be 16 in April.
Aww.
Yes.
Oh, I have a soft. I grew up around giant dogs, so I have a soft spot for dogs.
Oh, I have a pit bull too, and she acts like a mommy.
That's like around here, man. Do not break in someone's house. There's like a German Shepherd in the bed in everyone's backyard. Like this would be the wrong neighborhood.
Yeah, it's funny because I got 2 cats, him, 3 birds, and a pit bull.
Shorts definitely do help. You know, that was actually some really good advice. I ask my son all the time, like, hey, what should I do? What are the cool kids doing? What are the young kids doing? Or he'll be
Oh
like,
no,
shorts
you
are.
getting inside of your bag, you getting inside of your humongous bag didn't get you amazing views.
Well, you know, I bring them in and now they see my giant hoods, you know. The shorts bring them in. Oh,
I look forward to
absolutely.
I look forward to seeing your shorts all the time. I swear, it's like, oh, let's see what he's getting up to now.
I have this weird thing, and I talk about it all the time. I reached a point in my life where I was like, who am I pretending for? Like, why am I sitting up here and fronting for everybody else? I'm goofy. I love wearing goofy clothes. I love having fun. I inappropriately laugh at everything.
You gotta be you. Be true to
Absolutely.
yourself. And if
You
people don't like it, then they're not at the right channel.
I wear goofy colors. Even right now, I'm wearing I love wearing crazy colors, you know. You are who you are. That's why I
See,
constantly
I'm
say be
wearing
yourself.
okay, so I can't get my leg out to show you or to get to my shoe to show you, but I am wearing essentially sandals that had 3 Velcro strips on them and they're like completely foam and give me like an inch of height.
Yeah. That's another thing. I'm so glad you said that. I wear shoes. I call them my Shatners. Any shoes that make me taller than what I am, I'm here for it. I am here.
Yeah, I was actually moving to try to show you, to raise up my foot to show you, but then I had a cramp in the leg with a nerve damage. So I'm like, oh, nope, not doing that.
Oh, I get it. The other night I woke up, I had a cramp in my leg. I'm like, I don't even use that part of my body. What's happening? I woke up, I stood up out of my bed. I was like, 40 stinks. It was the weirdest. I just got this random cramp in my leg the other night. It
Oh
was
my
so
gosh.
strange.
Yes, it's so horrible when it wakes you up in the middle of the night. It's
Oh,
like, seriously, you couldn't pick a daytime hour to do this?
it's all seriously. It's when you're resting it's when your body wants to pay you back for something you did 20 years ago.
Yes.
I think that's amazing. Joanna. I think that's
Yeah, 2
amazing.
beds is $3 plus plus I have taken care of my nephew's border collie meds for almost 15 years. She has worsening dementia. Aww.
Yay! Welcome back, Awkward Quilter, Georgia. They did not win, but that's
Aww.
okay.
We still love you.
Absolutely. And those people at man. You know what's funny? If I walked in there with my cowboy hat, they would be like, "Do you need coffee, sir? Do you? What do you need? Be our guest. Be our guest." I spent a lot of money. They were walking out with me. They're like, come back, please." If you give this, you give the kiddos some gateway hoods, and next thing you know, they're buying sewing machines from strange men at 2 in the morning. That's how it starts, Kilroy. That's how it starts. On the corner, they're buying.
And William
Oh,
would be that strange man trying to do the reselling on the corner.
if they had a jacket sturdy enough and big enough, hey, need some sewing machines? I bet I could make one. I bet
I
I could.
guarantee you could. I challenge you to make one to fit a sewing machine in.
I have a bunch of industrial Velcro in here that I'm like, what am I ever going to do with this?
Now
What
you
am I
know.
ever going to do with it? I don't wear shoes unless I absolutely have to. It depends on the situation. And you all are going to laugh at me again. The temperature dropped. It was 70 something all day. I'm used to it being 105, 108. So it's weird not being extremely hot. So I had to put shoes on to compensate. I'm a tenderfoot. Same, I am too.
It's funny because I'll wear shoes in the house and then I'll take my shoes off to go outside.
You know, they just have to send the ugly fabric away. I'm obsessed with ugly fabric. I have this weird thing where I take certain things as a challenge. Years ago, I made an ugly shirt, but then I learned something about myself. I put it on a video, and everyone was like, "That's the ugliest shirt I ever seen," and I got my feelings hurt. So I will never make an ugly shirt again. Because I told people it's just an ugly shirt, and they're like, "Yeah, that's an ugly shirt," and I'm like, "Wait a minute, only I'm supposed to think. You're supposed to praise me." But they told the truth. It was an ugly shirt.
I mean, at least they didn't lie to you.
I've made some stinkers over the years. I have. My old videos, I look back and I'm like, ooh, you guys really love me. Because that video was rough. Get some magnesium oil, 2 to 3 sprays, and muscle cramps. Charlie horses are gone. I will come back and write this down. Because seriously, I woke up, I walked around the room and I have my closet is nothing but mirrors. So when you wake up, you're literally facing yourself. And I was like looking in my mirror. I'm like, oh, how did that happen? I just woke up in pain and walked up to the mirror like, aging stinks.
Yeah, it does.
And some Halloween fabric they sent me last year too. Define ugly fabric. You know what? I think I could probably find the video, but I think I'm like almost embarrassed to find the video.
See, my thing is every piece of fabric will look gorgeous if it's used the correct way.
This shirt was incorrect. Let me see if I can find the video. I've made so many over the years that gosh, it's so weird to me to see videos from 2 or 3 years ago because it doesn't feel like that long ago.
Okay, so I'll be right back. He needs a diaper change.
Okay, no worries.
Mommy duty.
That was a stiff drape material. Okay, in my defense though, that stiff drape material is indestructible. If the end of the world came, I'd be walking around with that and I would be fine. Those old tweed drapes were made to last forever. I think that's what's drawn me towards sewing with tweed is all these suits I make, they're like parrots. They're going to live longer than me. Oh, ugly fabric is stuff I bought. Oh, I bought too much of it. I'm sick of. I like that. Sorry you didn't win. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with Mona though. There's certain things that I've purchased where I don't know which direction to go. Like I still have an entire roll of what I consider my Santee Alley fabric. I've made everything with that. I do not know what to do with it. Whoa. Occasionally get Charlie horses. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up with the chat. I am super slow this evening. I apologize. Eat stuff with a bunch of potassium too. I try to do that because I get this weird eye twitch. So I eat a lot of stuff with potassium. Nope, there's some god awful stuff out there. We'll pull the shirt down and the fabric was so stiff it would go back up the form. I remember that. There was another shirt in one of my shorts. I'm walking around like this because the shirt is so stiff. I'm doing the Frankenstein.
That would have been
Yeah.
hilarious.
I've decided I'm going to wear aprons in 2025. Just say no to uncomfortable clothes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you. That's why I started making caftans. But you can't wear what would you define a caftan as? Like I don't even know. It's because I don't curse on my channel. I can't say what I truly think of it. I'm off the bed. Thank you so much for
Sweet dreams,
stopping
little
by.
sis. Bye,
Thank
Jess.
you so much. And I seriously want to thank everybody who's here from Donnell's channel and just from around the way. I thank everybody. Yay. That grandma's couch fabric was interesting. I still have a lot of it. I still have a lot of that stuff. See, that's what I'm saying. I love ugly fabric. Most people thought that was ugly. I loved it. It reminded me of a couch my grandmother had. There is some ugly fabric out there.
There probably is. It just, I don't know. No matter what type of fabric I see, some people might think it's ugly, and I'm like, I could almost always come up with some type of purpose to it to make it look nice.
Absolutely.
And if you
I've
don't like it, cut it into smaller pieces.
I've gained a considerable amount of weight, and I'm the same way. I'm not about wearing stuffy. I look back at my old suits and I'm like, why did I ever wear half of this? That's why I'm wearing my overalls today. I've been home having a good day. I did go wander through Walmart because do you partake in Walmart or anything in that realm?
Every now and then, if it's something I need, and I know Walmart has the better prices.
Pajamas are the way to go. My problem is I live in a place where there's a Walmart 4 minutes from my house. There's to say it's a mega Walmart would be an understatement.
Yeah, like
In the middle.
if I need like a new pair of jeans or something like that, a nice pair of jeans or something, or undergarments or whatnot, I'll go to Walmart and get it just because it's cheap. And I don't like buying clothing unless I can try it on.
I'm the same. It took me it's so funny you would say that because I ordered
Like
something online and I kind of took a chance.
like
Kilroy,
shirts,
that's
I'll order from
oh
shirts.
sorry, go ahead.
I'll get from the like thrift store or whatnot. But my pants and shorts, I got to get brand new because I had to be able to try it on.
Oh, what is considered steampunk? Asking for a friend. I bought this vest and I
Maybe if
really
you
didn't.
see, I'm thinking that vest along with like a top hat.
That's what the style was like when they were advertising for it. To me, it's
Now the
very
vest with the
cowboy.
cowboy, yeah, the vest with the cowboy hat, I would think would be Western.
I like it, and it's tweed too,
I like
because
the
I'm
vest. The vest is
crazy.
nice.
And I just bought tweed. I am tweed. I am tweed crazy. I forgot I purchased this, and it showed up in my house, and I was like, I have an Amazon problem.
I think since COVID, all of us have Amazon problems.
I went to Walmart, and I came back, and I'm like, oh, I really did order that vest. I really did order that vest. Caftans are robes with flair. Absolutely. I just put one in my suitcase. I love caftans. I go to Walmart for the fashion mishaps. I go to Walmart or anywhere that has stuff I want. Absolutely. William, I lived in SoCal for 3 years in the late 80s. However, ain't a city girl. One of my brothers lives in Pasadena. I have family that lives in Pasadena. Pasadena is a very established, like that. It's a beautiful place. It's not as hardcore as LA is, even though it's right. Even the village people say 2K about that. I'm a vest aficionado. I am
Oh
a
my goodness
vest
gracious,
lover.
Lisa.
I was at Walmart at 6 a.m. this morning. Thank you.
That is too
Thank you.
early.
I used to love blazers. I could throw on with anything. And that's another thing. This was also advertised with someone wearing this with long sleeve. And it's because I get lonely and I go on Amazon. I have no excuse. I have no excuse. But honestly, you know what though, Zaza, I'm an early riser too. Depending on what it is, I've been at Walmart at 6 a.m. where the staff is looking at me like, "Why are you here?" Oh, William, sounds like you have a bunch of problems. However, you're in a good company. Absolutely. Oop, oop, oop.
What did you do?
Every day at 6:30, Alexa turns on and doxes me.
There's an air quality alert
Oh,
until Sunday, September 15th.
Yes, there's air quality. They moved the air quality alert. Of course they did, because the sky's gray. You can't even lie. You can't be like, "Oh, you guys are fine." No, we're not fine. You can't. I live in a giant valley. We can't even see the mountains. That's
oh
how
my gosh.
how much smoke is in the air right now. I don't. I do not. People after 11 o'clock. I like that. I need a sign that says that. When my older brothers lived in Hermosa Beach for 20-ish years before he moved to Scottsdale, a lot of my family moved to Arizona. A lot of my family. Oh, that's so funny. A lot. And let's be real, because compared to here, it's affordable. Even in the 80s, 90s, it just became unaffordable to live here. I'm only there at 6. If I haven't been to bed yet, I don't do people period. See, but that's what I miss. Did you ever partake in the middle of the night world? Like, I used to go to Walmart at like 1 or 2 because there was no one there.
Yeah, I used to go to the stores or various places and everything late at night and all. Because back when my boys were little, I had a newspaper route. So I would go like Walmart to blow off time until time to start delivering my papers. Just to people
Exactly.
watch.
Exactly.
Because it's like I knew if I went home to sit there and wait until time to deliver, to start delivering, then I'd be asleep and miss my route.
I do that when on certain days, like around Wednesday, Thursday, when I'm real tired. If I come back and walk in this room, I will fall asleep in this chair because it's so peaceful in here. It is so peaceful in here. And back when, believe it or not, under that giant pile of fabric is a recliner chair.
Somewhere over the sewing machine.
It is a 300 to 400 pound chair that someone offered me, and I was like, sure. And I put it in this garage and I've literally built everything around that chair. But it's a real massage chair. It's a real, like, almost, it's
It's
one
a
you get.
massage chair, and you're not using it.
I do, but like the exercise bike in my kitchen, it's the greatest coat rack, rag dryer of all time.
But that's an exercise bike. That's not a massage chair.
See, now you're making me want to rescue that. That chair is glorious. I'll get out of that chair and I still feel like I'm moving. That chair is glorious.
Hey, so Terry.
Yay! Great to see you. Great to see you. Hello, hello, so Terry. I miss going out in the middle of the night because where I live in Yuppieville. Nobody was out. Nobody.
It's like the perfect time to do any type of driving because everybody's sleeping.
Same when I'm driving. When I'm driving to work, it takes me like 14 minutes. Something crazy, and it's literally clear on the other side of town, but no one's on the road. And so, short of hitting even if I hit every red light, it's like 15 minutes.
So how long does it take you to get home?
Half an hour, 45. There's like, my town is weirdly built. There is a school, junior high or elementary. There's like a school every mile.
Yeah.
So there's just traffic everywhere.
Yeah. Sweet dreams, Lisa. Because
Excuse
not
me. Thank you.
everyone is past my ugly hour.
Thank you so much for stopping by. Yay! I need to catch up. And that's good planning. People move to my town. People want to live here because, like, if you have a elementary school age child, the junior high, high school, and everything is near your house, no matter where you live. You know.
So Terry, Loki is wearing essentially a diaper wrap. It covers like his private area. So because he's got urinary incontinence. So he doesn't get the notification he's got to go tinkle until after he does it.
Kilroy, we have a world of hover parents who drive their kids to school, and where I live, people buy their kids cars at 15, 16 years old. The high school, I almost got hit by a Tesla the other day. The window was rolled down and the person looked like they were 15 years old.
Probably
It,
was.
I was so mad. Who buys their, I don't know how much Teslas are, but who buys their kid a Tesla? And that's not the only one.
I'm sorry, your first car should be a hoopty.
Hoopty, or your father's old car,
Yes.
or mother's. The old
Because you know
family.
you're going to destroy it, so it might as well be a messed up one so you're not destroying a beautiful one.
Back in my day, everybody got their mom's minivan. My high school literally was nothing but old Dodge Caravans and
My first vehicle was a Pontiac Bonneville that I bought off of a friend of mine when I was 18.
oh, that's so awesome.
Yes,
Mine was
it
a
was a
9
1980. It was a 1984 Pontiac Bonneville.
Oh, that's a hoopty.
And I loved her. She was gorgeous.
That's like mine. Mine was a 1983
Yes.
Ford
Yes,
Ranger.
Mona. Yes, yes, yes. It's that kind of rap. It keeps the main components inside so I don't have to carpet clean.
And also, Kilroy, it would make you kind of sick, but people also buy their kids like jacked up trucks.
Yeah.
That to me, that's crazy.
I've seen high schoolers driving that to school. I'm like, how? How are
How
you
you,
driving that? And I'm barely affording a gas to drive anywhere.
well, I will tell you, like, and I'm not trying to shame people, but I think this should be said. My neighbors they bought kids for their cars. Their kids moved on and they still have the cars. There's a Hummer sitting down the street from my house, and there's a truck sitting there because they bought their kids these nice cars. And one went in the military, and the other one that's so much money. Oh my gosh! And the other one I don't know, but the cars are just sitting here, and they're probably still paying on them because I know they don't own them. So you got to be careful when you do things like that. But a lot of my neighbors, like a lot of people, don't live within their means. I talk about this all the time. Someone around here has a Lamborghini. I drive a 1988 Ford F-150 and a Ford Flex.
My husband has a Silverado, a 10-year-old Silverado. And I just got a Cadillac a few months back, and it's like a 2014, I think. And I bought it off of the original owner. And she wanted to get rid of it just because she wanted an upgrade.
It's insulting to the old school way of life when I see these kids with their brand new cars. I'm in my car and I'm like, I own this car, kid. I guarantee you don't own that. And that's another thing. I buy my cars outright. My first car was
I financed mine, but at the same time, I always get mine used. I didn't got that kind of money to pay it outright.
Up until I met my ex-wife, I didn't even know what a new car looked like. Honestly,
I would never wanted a brand new spanking new car. I like used vehicles because I want one that's already had been broken in some.
Mine was a Royale, and mine was my grandma's old car.
I agree, Kilroy.
Oh, new cars. I'll never buy new cars are a scam. I don't think I've ever, besides once, I don't think I've ever purchased a new car. Well, it's different. Like at my job, that's different. But I'm playing with the house's money. I'm not playing with my own money. It's way different. New cars are a scam though, because they instantly depreciate when you drive them off as well. I had an old Ford Falcon. It didn't have a gas tank. I had a trunk full of gas cans. Oh, that's
What?
awesome. Insane. I would never do that. Did you smoke back then?
Oh God, I hope not.
Wow. I love those Forerunners. I am biased towards all of those years. An 87 Chevy Beater truck, the Toyota has. Yep. Never owned a new car. Absolutely. I don't know. Uh, I just haven't come across anyone that hasn't purchased a new car that hasn't had a problem with it. And I'm not kidding you. I'm like looking at my security cams, like you can see it. My neighborhood is filled with a bunch of really nice cars that people aren't driving because gas is outrageous, but they haven't they haven't finished paying them off.
Uh-huh.
It's crazy. That's why
And Lana
when
says, yes, I smoke and drink.
big 3 payments, and the next thing you're buying is a bus car. It's true though. Out here that's a scam too, because someone figured out however much it is for gas, and that's how much a bus pass is. Someone did the math, and they were like, bus passes are a scam in LA County. And I used to 20 years ago, I would ride the metro every day when I lived in LA. Gosh, that was 25 years ago when I lived in downtown Los Angeles.
Oh wow.
It was a different world. I lived in MacArthur Park, and I was this kid. I showed up. My neighbors were like, this guy looks like he's gonna starve. They fed me. They taught me how to cook. Man, I was living in the more Salvadorian Mexican neighborhood. I was eating pupusas, eating enchiladas. They would have big parties on the weekends. I miss that neighborhood. I do. It was like real people in that neighborhood. And they were like, oh, he's too skinny. Feed that kid. Feed that kid. Seriously, great people. Great people. I had a 76 Chevy Nova. Wow. No, see, something like that. I would get rid of my other cars and drive something like that. My daughter pays her own car payment and insurance. See, that's what I'm saying. Like when you bite off too much, my son asked me to buy him a $10,000 truck, and I was like, okay, but you got to come work for me first. You come fill out a W-2, I'll give you a job, and then you can get that $10,000 truck eventually.
Right? Same thing we
I,
used to have to do. Earn it.
when I was a kid, I told my dad I want a car. He said, okay, get in the car. He drove me to this place called Robinson's May, and I got a job. And I worked on the dock until I got my car. And I even worked there after I got my car, but I worked at a Robinson's May. You have no
Yep.
idea about
My
gas prices in good.
my youngest one did not get a car until he was old enough to get a job and pay for it himself.
Zaza, you are 100% correct. I've done the math a million times. In the UK, you guys pay way more than we do as far as gas. So that's why I try not to complain too hard. Because even in California, we pay absorbent prices, but it's nowhere near what people pay overseas at all. You know what's so funny? I was thinking about getting a new car, but then I was like, I'm the kind of person who would purchase it outright, and the price goes down. If you walked into a dealership with like $30,000, they would be like, we'll give you whatever you want. It's different when you walk in with cash,
Oh yeah,
I learned that from my
definitely.
father. He bought the car that's in front of my house flat out with cash. And it was where the sticker price was way higher, but he walked in, he's like, "This is what I got." They're like, "It's your this here's the keys, this is your car." We pay way more for everything, utilities. Yes, I watched your news too. It's sad what's happening around the world right now. That's why I try not to gripe too much, even when I showed the $7 chips, because I know people are paying higher prices in other places too. Says the guy who goes to different states and goes nuts.
I wouldn't know who you're talking about.
Would you? Is there anywhere like that near you where you're like, oh man, this place is way cheaper, or like, is there a state that you could go to where everything is like way cheaper?
Um, well, when my husband and I used to smoke cigarettes, if we were going on a vacation, we would definitely buy our cigarettes down south in Tennessee when we would go down to buy it. Because we would buy like cartons to bring back
I learned
because
that
it
too.
was just so much cheaper down there.
I did the same thing. I smoked Captain Black. Again, I learned from my pops. He would it was some company and they would mail it to us. And in the state of California, he'd always tell me, don't tell anybody that we're not paying state tax. Well, he's passed away and I don't smoke anymore. So come at me. But we would buy cans and cans. And for the price of 9 cans would be the same price for 2 in California. And so I totally get that. We would go crazy with that. Maybe Wyoming. I know someone who lives in Montana, and that's see, but I don't know. I don't for as much as I guess I can. I've lived a rural life. I know how to tend property. I can live out in the middle of nowhere. I say that, and I would have like solar panels, like, and the people, my neighbors would hate me. My neighbors would hate me. The problem is you got to go so far that you have to buy tractor trailers worth of stuff to make the fuel cost worth it. That is true.
Definitely. Yeah, when we would go down to Tennessee, it was usually because we were already planning a trip for down there, so we would just stock up while we're there.
I have an uncle who was in the Air Force in Vietnam, and he still to this day goes to the Air Force bases to buy all his groceries, everything, because it's so much cheaper.
Yeah, a lot of veterans and everything here go to a place here, a Air Force base here that's local to us and everything. It's called Selfridge. And they
Okay.
try and go there, and where they have like the grocery store in there where it's like everything's like so much more cheaper than go to a
Yeah.
normal grocery store.
Which I think they should do for all people that serve,
Yes.
They should definitely do that.
Oh, heck yeah.
Some places in Montana are cheaper than Wyoming. I did not know that. Montana drove me insane because of their speed limits. Their speed limits on the highway are the speed limits we have on the streets here. I'll never forget, a friend of mine was like, we could get out and run faster than to a Californian. Going 25 miles an hour in a street is offensive. Our speed limits on the streets are 45 to 50 miles an hour.
Yeah, our main roads here are between 35 to 45, depending upon which one it is. The side streets are like 25.
Hey, how's it going? Great to see you, Andrea. Great to
Hello,
see you.
hello.
Welcome. Awesome.
I do got to take off here in just a few moments,
I'm
though.
gonna park this ship. I promise.
Hey, just because this in here is getting all tired and edgy, and I got to get these birds put to bed at their bedtime at 10 p.m.
I know everyone's used to me. I know everyone's used to me going full Elvis, but I'll be back at it. I'll be back at it on Monday.
I'm so sorry I had you change your schedule for the night.
It's okay. I'm
My
actually gonna get
Eastern
some.
Heine couldn't do it that late.
I need to get I have a ton of sewing to do. I have a ton of stuff I need to do.
Yeah, the biggest thing is that my little YouTube studio in here is also right here where my birds are at, and their bedtime is 10 p.m. And they get cranky if they don't go to bed on time.
I totally understand. Yay! I'm glad you were able to wake up too. We had a great time. Seriously, we should do this more often.
Yeah,
We need to get Mona up here. We need to get Michelle. Anyone who wants to join. We need to start a sewing circle because you guys are awesome. Birds need
yeah,
their
that would be
sleep.
amazing.
But we definitely need to get something going. That's for the bird.
Joanna, Quasar is cranky in the mornings in my live streams if I keep him up late.
But we definitely need to get something going. So let me know. I'm around. I want to thank everybody who has subscribed, everybody who showed up today. You guys are absolutely amazing. And I thank everybody. Seriously, I started out literally just some shrub sewing on the internet. So I thank everybody. I am extremely humbled every time someone subscribes to my channel. So I thank you. Yay! Good night, everybody. So, do you have anything you'd like to shill? Anything,
Well, tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, I will be doing some hand quilting on my channel. So come over and stay tuned for that and everything. And then Wednesday night, I will be quilting one of my quilt tops I have stitched up and everything. Probably a children's quilt I'm gonna be donating. So, and that's my Wednesday night live stream is at 6 p.m. So come hang out, keep me occupied.
Awesome. The crickets are making me different. My house is infested with crickets. Absolutely infested with
Alibaba,
crickets.
I'll look that up for you.
I
I'll look it
will.
up and I'll pass the info and everything. I'll put the info on William's chat on Monday night.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mona. I appreciate everything that you do. Thank you so much. It was absolutely great to see everybody, and I'll be back at it on Monday. Everybody is welcome back. I thank you very much, Donnell. I had a great time.
Oh, same here. And sorry we had a third wheel.
No worries. That's okay. We love third wheels here in the house of sewing. I'm gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm gonna go have a great meal. I'm gonna go in my kitchen right now, get a tub of ice cream, and just sit there and eat some ice cream.
Yeah, I'm about to go to the air conditioner because holding on to this one here has me overheating again.
Well,
I need some air conditioning because I already turned that one off in here, and I gotta put the birds to bed.
I will be back at it on Monday. I'll be back at it on Monday. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in. And like I always say, reinforce your seams, be yourself, and I will definitely see you next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.